up for Mr. Mark Cox!
Let's get the obvious out of the way first. Good evening, everyone. My name's Mark, with a C. My parents decided to spell my name that way just to be different, so I could stand out. But they didn't think about when you go to school. When you go to school, do you want to stand out? I just wanted to coast through. Oh, well, if I wanted to stand out, it was going to be for like educational excellence or sporting prowess, but... And ironically, most of my GCSEs were a grade C. But I asked my mum, really, why did you do that? I wanted you to be exotic. But not too exotic, because I only changed one fucking letter. It's not short for Marcus, it's just Mark. And the question I always got asked at school was, are you French? No, I'm not French. But I was in Paris, nice segue, Paris last week, with the wife, and we've gone into the hotel, walked up to reception, and I remember some of my textbook French, and I thought, going to really impress this guy. So I walked up to the desk and went, if anybody is French, I really apologise for this. J'ai une réservation dans le nom de Marc Cox. He looked at me and he went, English? I went, yeah, I know, it's obvious. He then proceeded to look at his screen at the reservation and went, with a C? What fucking hope do I have if the language that invented my spelling does not believe I should have it? But we do have this thing in our family where spellings are somewhat dubious, shall we say. My old man, his name is Jeffrey, Jefffery, or so he thought. On the day he was filling in his marriage certificate to my mother, it was pointed out to him he'd been spelling his name wrong for his entire life. Should have been R-E-Y. And rather than thinking, oh, I know what I'm going to do, I'm going to change all my details over and everything, it's going to be a lot of paperwork, he just looked at the registrar and said, you got a deep hole form? 2 for 1, it'll just, once done, that's it, that's great. But my old man, he was a bit of a pillar at times, but his heart was in the right place. And he sat me down one day to try and give me this chat. And he said, I need to tell you about how you enter relationships in the future. So, okay, this is going to go really well. And he said, sometimes you might find a girl, settle down. You might get married. But look, I'm old, but I'm happy. I looked at my dad and went, are you taking fucking relationship advice from fucking Boyzone lyrics now? Nobody else get that? I worked on that today. That bit's funnier. I shouldn't write a script. Sorry, I'm losing it now. But, well, I've got it back. But there's one thing my dad didn't tell me about. It's like, women can ask awkward questions in relationships. And I've always been asked this one question. I'm sure some of you have asked it. I'm sure some of you have been asked it. It's that question of, what are you thinking? Why do you want to know what I'm thinking? The male brain is very zen. All of you look into the brains of your male partners tonight. There's fuck all of any interest going on. Absolutely nothing. So I would go by the mantra though that I wouldn't lie to my missus when she asked the question. So I would look at her some days, she'd say, what are you thinking? Do dogs lick humans because they're made of bones? 72-hour deodorant. Who wakes up on a Monday, has a shower, puts some spray on and goes, oh, fuck it, that's me done till Thursday. And was everybody really kung fu fighting? Everybody, everywhere, as fast as lightning. She kind of got up and walked away from that one. It gave me some peace. But me and my wife now, we've been together for 26 years. Don't clap, it's just tolerance. I have to keep saying this every single time. And I get asked the question a lot is, how did you meet? That's all the kids ever ask. How did you meet? Well, we met in a nightclub in the 90s. I don't know if anybody remembers a nightclub in the 90s.
Yeah.
They're not the best place to go. If you kind of put them into like the social media pattern of today, they start off as Instagram, all nice and happy and pictures, then I'm really sorry, but it ends up on Tinder near the end of the night where you're just swiping, trying to find somebody to go home with. And it ends up in a Twitter row over a kebab. But when I met my missus, I was drunk, she was drunk, and those days we didn't have the phones, so we couldn't give each other a number. I was like, okay, she just told me, and this on my life is completely true. She said to me, she gave me her name, and she told me the place that she worked. And I thought she said, my name's Louise Pawn, and I work in a garden centre in Stevenage. Now you can imagine, I'm thinking, how many beers have I had? And I got home, and about 3 days later I thought, I wouldn't mind meeting up with that girl again. How do I do that? I've not got a number, but I've got her name. So in those days, I don't know if you remember, ring up director inquiries. This is probably the most embarrassing phone call of my life. Hi, how can I help? Who can I find for you? I'm looking for somebody in Stevenage with the surname Pawn. How are you spelling that? Let's try like the chess piece. No. Okay, let's try like the other one. No. Okay, I'm done for here. So I made one more phone call to business director inquiries and said, can you give me a phone number for a garden centre in Stevenage? They gave me the phone number, I rung it, and found her. Aww. And then we started going out. We went on holiday 3 months later. 9 months further on from that, we had a child. So baby, my dad shouldn't have given me bloody Boyzone lyrics and told me how to put a condom on. My name's been Mark, sorry, bye-bye.